So what more can you tell us about what is unfolding in Syria right now?
Well, Ruby, it's very dramatic. It looks like, based on what we know so far, that the Assad regime is falling. It looks like there's no sign of Bashar al-Assad. It's extraordinary given that for 54 years, the Assad regime, it's a dictatorship, a brutal dictatorship, has had an ironclad grasp on Syria for much of that time. And the images out of Damascus overnight of Hafez al-Assad, the late father of Bashar al-Assad, the current leader, of the rebels pulling down his statue. The times I've been into Syria, anybody who even tried that would have been executed summarily. It looks like there's 2,000 or so Syrian soldiers fleeing into Iraq. As Eric Torchek just said, it looks like the rebels have taken, or the army has fled the south, Deraa, which is where the uprisings began in 2011. The rebels, what we know so far, the rebels have taken Aleppo, the second largest city and the commercial centre. The rebels have taken Hama. The rebels look like they're about to take Homs, if not already. They've taken Deraa in the south. And it looks like that the Syrian regime, the soldiers are fleeing. Now, Bashar al-Assad will be thinking of images of people like Colonel Gaddafi and Ceausescu in Romania. When dictators fall, they tend to be treated very badly, very cruelly. Ceausescu, of course, in Romania was shot dead in the snow outside a toilet block like a sick dog. And Colonel Gaddafi, of course, in Libya was found hiding in a pipe in a stormwater drain. And so there would have been, in all of these dictatorships in the Arab world, they would have had an escape plan ready. That would have been a standard plan. It would possibly involve tunnels under the palaces, and it wouldn't surprise me if we hear the news at any point that Bashar al-Assad has fled, but we simply don't know. It's a chaotic situation.
Yeah, a lot of those actions by the rebels that you just listed have happened just in the last few days. I mean, this is accelerated so fast. Why has it been happening so quickly? This
is one of the most dramatic, swiftest operations I've seen in the Middle East. These rebels, the Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, they had moved to Idlib. They're a sort of an offshoot of al-Qaeda, and they tried to rebrand themselves. This is like the Taliban 2.0. This is Jihadist 2.0. This is the warm and caring jihadists. They'd moved up to Idlib, tried to repackage themselves, but clearly built themselves into a formidable fighting force. And one of the messages out of all of this is a dramatic failure in intelligence by the Syrian regime, which has eyes and ears, we thought, everywhere, but they clearly didn't know the capability of the HTS group, who then made this lightning strike on Aleppo. And interestingly, a lot of the people in towns like cities like Aleppo and Hama appear to be welcoming these people. A lot of Syrians don't like the brutality of the Assad regime. And so for a fighting force like this of rebels to have got the capability to unlodge a regime that's backed by Russia and Iran, who have both helped keep Assad in power, it's a spectacular story.
And the speed of this, as you say, quite unprecedented. So I guess making predictions about the future is difficult. But do we have any sense of where things may go from here?
What we know for sure is that this will certainly lock Syria into at least a permanent civil war now. The rebels have enough capability, clearly, to entrench a civil war. What we don't know is the Assad regime going to flee? And if they flee, then into that vacuum, I mean, the rebels are hardly an alternative government. It certainly suggests that there's a long period of chaos and upheaval ahead in Syria.
Global Affairs Editor John Lyons, thank you for that.